Hi, this is Christopher Bruza. Welcome back. I'm sitting here with my new duck hunting gun, the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3. Amazing gun. I wasn't planning on purchasing one so soon. I was still kind of debating between this and the Beretta. And Beretta, I don't know, they're hard to find, but they had a 10 gauge version as well that I was considering. Looking at the pros and cons, I didn't want to just jump into Benelli because I love Benelli shotguns, and they make several models that are sufficient for ducks. The reason I made the decision quicker than I had to, I was planning on using some 10 gauge guns that were lent to me. This beautiful but heavy Ithaca 10 gauge Magnum, legendary gun. You probably have heard about these, know somebody who has one. Great gun. Super long barrel. I'm gonna guess it's at least 30 inches because this is 28. So I was lent this as well as a Remington SP-10, and the SP-10 is an almost identical gun to the Ithaca. I mean, the receiver's got slightly different contours, but the design is very similar. And you might be wondering where the forend is. Took that off because I had a near catastrophic failure, and this bolt is just locked up, not moving. I've tried several things. I mean, smacking this with a hand, it's in there. It's like frozen there. Luckily, the guy who lent this to me is a gunsmith, and he said, no problem, I'll fix it. But you can see the gas piston right here. And I owe a lot of thanks to the gas piston being right there, because this could have been much worse. I'll put a picture up showing the gun in the field and the failure. We were hunting crows in preparation for duck season. You know, practice shooting, keeping the dogs, you know, getting the dogs used to retrieving birds, stuff like that. And I actually took the crows and cooked them up for the dogs. I did try the meat, the breast meat. Not something I'd like to eat in general. It was edible. It reminded me a lot of like chicken liver. I don't know. But anyway, there were some crows coming in. But there were some crows coming in. This was the last stand of the day. We had some good success early in the morning, and we were in a cornfield, and the first set was coming in. So I take aim on a bird that's coming down to land, pull the trigger, nothing. Don't see my shot, don't see the bird go down, but I'm fairly new to bird hunting, so that's not unexpected. Immediately pull the trigger again, and all I see are flames flying out the ejection port and hearing birdshot all over the corn stalks next to me. Like we were in the corn. you know, just all over the side. The flames actually singed my eyelashes off and singed part of my eyebrow. You know, I immediately put the gun down, and my friend's like, what the hell happened? What are you doing? Come on, there are more birds. I'm like, dude, look at this gun. And so, you know, our hunt stopped there, but we tried to diagnose it in the field. Saw there was a chamber, or a barrel obstruction, actually, and tried to fix it. We ended up pulling the choke out and finding that this wad was stuck right at the entrance to the choke. And obviously, I mean, the shell is right here. This was in the barrel, or actually, no, this was under the lifter. This is what separates the powder from the shot. This was, in the picture, you can see the lifters like up, I believe. This was under there somewhere. But this is just completely singed, melted, and ruptured. It turns out, long story short, the choke was rusty. I'd cleaned the gun, but I took the choke out when I cleaned the gun. Probably should have cleaned the choke too, but cleaning it didn't really clean up the rust, so lesson learned. Barrel obstructions are bad, but you kind of take that chance when you're hunting, taking multiple shots. If you're at the range and you're on a target, you pull the trigger and you don't see the round down range, you don't see a hole in your target, yeah, you should probably stop and diagnose that. But when birds are coming in, you take that risk. And I was insanely lucky. You can see here. So the wad was stuck about there. So you can see here, the gas ports are well back of the obstruction. That allowed the gas tube to operate the bolt and open the chamber. If that obstruction were before this area, likely I would have bulged the barrel at minimum or had a complete catastrophic failure of the barrel, effectively acting like a pipe bomb. So it opened the bolt, and I mean, what was supposed to come out down there came out down here in a much different fashion. I don't know if the shot would have been going enough to physically hurt somebody, because it's just not being directed correctly, and but it wasn't a good situation. So I decided I was no longer going to shoot borrowed guns, and this beast went on sale in this camo color with a 28-inch barrel. I was actually looking for 26. I don't think there's any discernible difference when you're actually hunting. But I ended up with the Super Black Eagle 3 with Optifade camo, 28-inch barrel. I hunt with someone who has the Super Black Eagle 2, and we compared them. Very, very few differences. I mean, you know, they just updated the Benelli M2 field, not the tacticals, the field version, for a very similar forend. It feels, not sure you actually are, but it certainly feels by where they put these grooves, and it kind of pulls your hand, your fingers, I guess, more so, and thumb up a little bit higher, closer to the barrel, so it feels like you're holding the gun up a bit more closer to the barrel. But with a shotgun, you need to adjust it so it fits you, whether your hand's up or down a little bit. I don't see how that matters. You're pulling it up with your eyes closed, and you should be looking straight down the rib at your target. So that's one change. They updated the forend. The magazine tube cap kind of became triangular instead of round. Comfort Tech stock. They put another cut in it with a rubber piece that goes all the way around. I don't know if it helps the recoil, but the pistol portion, we couldn't find any differences. Trigger guard, there is a difference. They relieve the front of it, scoop it out kind of like 3-gun dudes do, and as well as the receiver portion is scooped out to help you load rounds more easily. It just kind of directs it towards the center of that loading port. The bolt release lever is much bigger. No longer do you have the little puny, to me it looks like a pencil eraser sticking out. Awesome on a tactical gun or a duck gun. I mean, it's nice to have, but had a SB2 been available, I would have bought that. I mean, that's not a game changer. The Super Black Eagle 2 has a shorter front fiber optic. It's about half the length, and his had a mid-bead on it. Now, I've seen Super Black Eagle 3s on YouTube that had the shorter fiber optic and a mid-bead. I don't know the story there. I'm not an expert on these guns in any fashion. I'm just showing you what I'm hunting duck with this year. The biggest change seen, and this was a huge difference that surprised me. I didn't understand this when I was buying the gun. This portion that looks like the receiver is actually attached to the barrel. So the barrel goes all the way back to here. Now this is the receiver here, but the barrel comes here. With the M2, this is aluminum, and the barrel has an extension that fits inside of there, and on the non-ejection port side comes probably back to about here. Anyway, with the Super Black Eagle 3, this is a angled cut. I'll put a picture showing, you know, the separation. But with the Super Black Eagle 2, it is a vertical cut. Don't know why they made it. Big design difference from an engineering standpoint, so there has to be a reason. They didn't just do it for the fun of it, because the barrels are no longer interchangeable. I mean, there's a definitive reason they did it. I don't know what it is, but I'm pointing it out. So yesterday was the duck season opener in the hunting unit where I hunt. I am shooting heavy bismuth, 12 gauge, 3.5 inch, 4-shot, 1.5 ounce, 1,500 feet per second. These guys. So the first flock that came in were obviously wood ducks, because they fly earlier than mallards, and where we hunt it's primarily wood ducks, mallards. So they came in, I shot, bolt locked back. Magazine was full, bolt locked back. I don't recall. I believe there was a round on the lifter. Anyway, bolt lock back. So bang, no duck for me. So that was weird, but it was actually the first time I've been shooting that ammo. I should have patterned it before, but it came in a few days ago, and it was time to hunt. Yeah, it came in midweek, and the opener is on a Friday, so I didn't have time to pattern. So the next flock comes in, same thing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare. I have a bad gun, and we've got ducks coming in every minute and a half to 2 minutes or so. I was actually having trouble keeping, my waders have shells on them, keeping the gun loaded. But after those first 2 hiccups, I'm going to call them, the gun functioned flawlessly all morning. They kind of died down around 8 o'clock. I think like shooting light was like 6:56. So we had a good hour there. We brought down 7 ducks. And I made a horrible mistake on the last duck I shot. I was kind of figuring out how the gun shot, and actually using it in a hunting situation is completely different than at the range, or more accurately for me, shooting thrown Ritz crackers. That's much less stressful. The gun shoots high, and from what I researched later, actually this morning, the Benelli hunting guns shoot high, whereas you're supposed to see the whole bird above your bead. You don't put the bead on the bird. And I was figuring that out as the morning went on, and mallard circling, just a lone mallard hen circling, and she comes into land. I'm following a guy to the left of me, boom, boom, bird's still flying, and I'm learning to aim lower because I'm seeing shot go high, and just doom, bird crumbles, just big splash. Awesome. First mallard down. It's a hen, not a drake, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. So we send the dog. Dog's having trouble finding it. It's like, we wait over there, and I'm like, this bird splashed right here. And he's like, yeah, I thought it was maybe more about 10 feet this way. Like, regardless, this bird should be floating right here. Amazing dog. I'm going to tag her Instagram down below, Ferra. She retrieved the downed hen. It wasn't dead. It was, the wings were crippled. So we're back over in the trees where we were hunting. We got a little blind for the dog, and she brings it over. I grab the bird, and I'm admiring how beautiful its wings are and stuff. And then all of a sudden its legs just in feet or just started scratching at my hand, and I dropped the bird. And he's giving the dog commands to retrieve the bird. It's there floating, and I watched it go under the water. It dove under and never came up again. Rookie mistake. Completely dumb on my part, but we did not recover that bird. It dove down and gone. We looked for probably a good half hour, just walking around that area of the swamp, dragging our feet on the bottom. The dogs searching, nothing. I hate to wound game and not retrieve it. The meat goes to waste, but learning experience, whether you want to admit it or not. I'm sure every bow hunter has put an arrow in a deer they have not retrieved. You got to put your due diligence in trying to find it, but it's the way it goes sometime. So I love this gun. it performed great. I had 2 hiccups at the beginning, and that was it. I'm calling those flukes, you know, kind of teething issues with a new gun. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the duck season. Hope to make it to Missouri in December to duck hunt. I have an opportunity out there, and I'm going to try to document some of them. I'm still deer hunting this year, obviously. But after the rut, I think mornings are going to be duck hunting, afternoon deer hunting. So hopefully we'll put a good buck down during the rut coming up in about a week. Until then, if you want a shirt like this, there's a link down below, and I have a free shipping code in the description. And if not, I'll see you next time. Enjoy.